Warm greetings to everyone present here on International Workshop on Sustainable Road Freight. So, myself, Venkadavarahan, a research scholar in Transportation Engineering and Management in National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu, India. My supervisor is Dr. Mari Saminathan. We are working together in the same institute. We proposed a paper titled Investigating Sustainable Urban Freight Policies for Indian Conditions. So moving on to introductions. Indian cities has intensive roads with narrow streets and high concentration of peoples in the city centers, mainly in CBD areas and the cities for commercial activities and recreational activities. So it results in large flow of peoples for shopping, working, eating, and which correspondingly generates huge number of goods. However, these narrow streets in the CBD areas and in the cities are not properly planned for urban freight operations. So when commercial vehicle, generally of large size, slow moving and highly polluting vehicles are forced to stop in middle of the CBD areas or in the cities for making deliveries, and it creates massive traffic problems like congestion disturbing the mainstreams. Thus, the freight trip activity is prescribed as a nuisance and freight trip transportation is simply categorized as a largely unsophisticated stage. So this is a picture in India. So Tiruchirappalli city. Here the vehicle is parked in the CBD area and it is performing the unloading operations and disturbs the main traffic flow and creates a huge traffic in the market areas. So thus it is important to consider the urban freight operations for smooth movement of goods as well as the passengers without hampering the city's livability and sustainability. Therefore, it is very essential to propose sustainable urban freight policies based on the city condition to improve the existing mobility system. So the study on urban freight policies is totally different. So it is heterogeneous in nature as it needs to note the contrasting goals and interestings of various urban mobility players involved in the urban freight systems. Also, it is very important to note down the different perspectives of governance of the city, geometric design of the city, infrastructure facilities of the city, vehicle operations, and economic and environmental characteristics are need to be considered in a detailed manner to improve and enhance the urban freight system. So thus it is very important to propose the urban freight policies by considering the actual field conditions of the interacting agents, robustness of the supply chain characteristics, and prediction of the travel demand involved in the urban freight system. So in the study, the various set of urban policies are framed and it is required to prioritize the policies from the expert opinions for the better planning and performance of the urban freight systems. Also, methodological framework was developed to prioritize the effective urban freight policies using Fussy AHP method, a technique which has been used in the multi-criteria decision-making process. So in this study was developed, proposed urban freight policies and it has been prioritized with the four-step process. In the first steps, the urban freight policies are formulated using the criteria and sub-criteria. Once the questionnaire form is developed, we have circulated the questionnaire forms and collected the experts' opinion and all the data has been processed for the prioritization purpose. In the prioritization, the fuzzy AHP method was used, and finally, from the results of the fuzzy AHP methods, all the alternative policies has been ranked, and the best or urban best and one of the best and effective urban freight policies has been identified. So as a first step, it is important to formulate the urban freight policies. So in this study, we have used the two level of hierarchy systems in formulation of urban freight policies using criteria and sub-criteria policies. In this study, we have proposed four set of criteria: public infrastructures, land use management, access condition, traffic management. So in public infrastructure and four set of policies has been proposed. So each and every category, the four set of policy has been proposed. So in the case of public infrastructures, introduction of city terminal was proposed to reduce the negative effects of the urban freight systems and to improve the urban freight facilities. So it's like a hypothesis that has been framed for each and every policy that has been proposed. Second policy is introduction of outskirts logistics centers in the outsides of the city centers, which will reduce the congestion and improve the and enhance the urban freight systems. And third one is introduction of medium duty electric vehicle operations, which will improve the urban freight systems. And third one is finally the logistic improvement of terminal. In this policy, the logistic terminal has been improved for the enhancement of urban freight systems. So all these policies has been grouped under the criteria public infrastructures. Next, the land use management policies. In the land use management policies, the first policy is introduction of urban consolidated center was proposed to reduce the big movement of commercial vehicles into the city centers. And second one is parking space, introduction of parking space. And third one is load zone provision. And fourth one is introduction of loading and unloading bay in the each and every establishments. So third criteria is access condition criteria. So the first policy in the access condition criteria is access of commercial vehicles to the roads according to the weights and volumes of the vehicles. And second one is road pricing. And third one is introduction of half-hour delivery system, which will reduce the negative effects of the urban freight system and enhance the urban freight operations. And final policy is access time windows has been proposed in the city centers, CBD areas, which will reduce the commercial vehicle movements in the peak hours. So finally, the traffic management criteria, ITS solutions to collect the freight data information has been proposed in the first policy, and second one is enforcement of strict rules, and third one is automatic access condition, and fourth one is operator management. So all these policies that has been comes under the traffic management has been grouped and categorized under the traffic management criteria. So totally 16 policies has been formulated, and all these 16 policies has been grouped on each and every criteria based upon their need. So all these policies has been prepared as a questionnaire forms, and questionnaire forms has been collected to the expert opinion based upon the 5-point scale rating. So Likert scale was used in the questionnaire forms, and we have targeted the experts like urban freight planners who are working in the government institutions, and academic faculties who are mainly working in the transportation planning field, and logistics stakeholders. So the survey was conducted in January 2021, and total of 29 samples was collected from the experts, and the sample was clean, and the data set was cross verified for the further analysis. So this is a Google form which has been circulated for the data collection process in the expert opinion survey. So from the expert opinions, we have collected 51.7 percentage from the academician, 44.8 percentage from the government officers, and 3.4 percentage from the stakeholders. So from these 51.7 percentage are less than 5 years of experience, the experts, and 31 percentage of experts are having 5 to 15 years of experience, and 17.2 percentage of experts having more than 15 years of experience. So from this collected data from the experts, all the policies in the public infrastructures has been statistically given in these pictures with a 5-point scale such as strongly disagree, disagree, neutral, agree, and strongly agree. Likewise, other from policy 5 to policy 8 for the criteria land use management has been provided in this picture. So next, the commercial vehicle access condition from policy 9 to policy 12 has been picturized in this picture. So finally, the traffic management criteria has been provided here. So once the data has been collected and analyzed for the descriptive statistics, then all these experts preference has been moved for the uh, prioritization using Fussy AHP. So in this Fussy EHP, we have framed the structures with 4 criteria and 16 policies based upon the each and every criteria. So which has been evaluated in terms of relative importance and weightage of each and every criteria. So as a first step, the pairwise comparison matrix was developed, and second step, the fuzzy synthetic extent method was used to calculate the fuzzy synthetics using this formula which has been given in the step 2. In the step 3, the weight vector for all the alternatives such as P1, P2, P3 has been developed by using Chang's extent methods. So innovatively, we have brought the Chang's extent methods for this in the fuzzy AHP methods. So from the Chang's extent methods, the weight vector has been obtained and relative importance for the policy P1, P2, P3 has been obtained for the criteria ones. So similarly, these four steps has been repeated for criteria 2, criteria 3 and criteria 4, and weight vector and relative importance for all the 16 policies has been obtained from these equations and from these equations. So from the results of the fuzzy HP method, it has been clearly showed that the half-hour delivery system is one of the most preferred urban freight policy from the experts' opinions. So it is clearly states that half-hour delivery systems has a weightage of 0.97 percentage, which is clearly state that the introduction of half-hour delivery systems in the each and every establishments of the city will reduce the negative effects of the urban freight systems and improve the urban freight system in an urban area. So once after the of our delivery systems, introduction of urban consolidated center was preferred as one of the most urban freight policies with a weightage of 0.74. Next, the freight terminal with a weightage of 0.63, then ITS with a weightage of 0.61, further with a monitoring database, dedicated freight feeder services, parking space, and strict access conditions. So from all the 16 policies, these 8 policies are preferred as the one of the most effective policies from the experts using the fuzzy AHP method. So, based upon these prioritization and expert opinion, it was suggested that action related to public infrastructure facilities may require high investment of amount. At the same time, they might produce a better and more solid results in the future involving high economic and solid risk. So, our conclusion remarks suggest a path towards better management of existing infrastructure facilities and propose the policies focusing on delivery system, monitoring database, traffic condition, load zone, and parking policies, which is very highly effective for an Indian cities. So moreover, a specific policy or combination of 2 or 3 policies can be implemented, and all the alternative policies which has been used in this study, that is 16 policies, are general and appropriate for any city in for a developing country, so like India. Also, the few urban policies seems to be provide a higher degree of sustainability in the starting period of time, but it may end a more inefficient policies as the days goes. So it is very essential for the urban planners and academicians to propose the policies and implement the policies based upon the degree of the suitability of an urban area. So thus we suggest from this study that we suggested from the studies that manage the existing infrastructure facilities which are in the urban area and propose the policies focusing on delivery system, monitoring database, traffic management, load zone, parking solution, which is highly effective for the developing countries. Thank you.